What if your next investment decision quietly shaped your financial destiny forever? Imagine opening your portfolio one morning and seeing it cross $1 million. That number feels distant, almost impossible, yet countless ordinary people reach it. They didn't rely on luck, inheritance, or secret insider knowledge to succeed. Instead, they followed disciplined strategies that anyone determined enough can learn. So why do most people never reach this financial milestone despite opportunities? The answer lies not in income, but in mindset and consistent decision making. Right now, your current habits are silently building or destroying your future wealth. Every small investment choice compounds, either pushing you forward or holding you back. The truth is, building $1 million portfolio is less about brilliance, more discipline. But here's the catch: most beginners never realize until it's too late. Time is your greatest ally, yet most people waste it chasing quick profits. They jump between trends, hoping for shortcuts that rarely lead to lasting wealth. Meanwhile, smart investors quietly build fortunes using simple but powerful strategies. What separates them isn't intelligence, but clarity, patience, and long-term vision. Picture two individuals starting with the same amount of money today, and one chases hype stocks, reacting emotionally to every market fluctuation daily. The other follows a structured plan, ignoring noise and focusing on long-term growth. 10 years later, their financial outcomes are dramatically different, almost unbelievable. Which path are you currently walking without even realizing it? This journey isn't about getting rich overnight or chasing unrealistic promises. It's about building something stable, powerful, and life-changing over time. The kind of wealth that creates freedom, security, and endless opportunities. But to achieve this, you must first challenge what you believe about investing. Many people think they need large capital to start building serious wealth. In reality, consistency matters far more than starting with a big amount. Even small investments, when compounded, can transform into extraordinary financial outcomes. Yet most people underestimate the power of this simple financial principle. They delay investing, waiting for the perfect moment that never truly arrives. Meanwhile, time keeps moving and missed opportunities quietly accumulate in the background. Let me ask you something honestly. Where do you see yourself financially in 10 years? Will you still be working tirelessly or enjoying the rewards of smart investing? That future depends on decisions you start making from this very moment. Building $1 million portfolio isn't reserved for experts or financial elites only. It's accessible to anyone willing to learn, adapt, and stay consistent. But there's a deeper layer most people completely overlook in this journey. It's not just about picking the right stocks at the right time. It's about building a system that works regardless of market conditions, a system that protects your money while steadily growing it over time. And once you understand this system, everything about investing starts making sense. Fear begins to fade, replaced by confidence and clarity in your decisions. Suddenly, market drops feel like opportunities rather than reasons to panic. This shift in perspective is where real wealth building truly begins. But before we dive deeper, you need to confront one critical truth. There are no guarantees, no shortcuts, and definitely no risk-free paths here. However, there are proven principles that dramatically increase your chances of success. Principles that have guided countless investors toward achieving million-dollar portfolios. And today, you're about to uncover how these principles actually work, not through theory alone, but through practical understanding you can apply immediately. This isn't just information, it's a roadmap to transforming your financial future. But remember, knowledge without action will never create real results. So as you continue, ask yourself if you're truly ready to commit, ready to think differently, act consistently, and stay patient through uncertainty, because this journey will challenge you, but reward you beyond expectations. Now let's step into the foundation of building your $1 million portfolio. Now that your mindset is shifting, let's start building your investment foundation properly. Every strong portfolio begins with a clear purpose and well-defined financial goals. Without direction, even the best investments can lead you toward disappointing outcomes. Ask yourself, why exactly do you want to build $1 million portfolio? Is it financial freedom, early retirement, security, or creating generational wealth? Your answer will shape every decision you make throughout this investing journey. Next, you need to understand your risk tolerance honestly and without ego. Some investors panic during small market drops, while others remain calm during crashes. Knowing your emotional limits helps you build a portfolio you can actually maintain, because the best strategy fails if you abandon it during stressful market conditions. Now let's talk about the most overlooked secret in wealth building: consistency. Investing isn't about timing the market, it's about timing the market. This means regularly investing regardless of market highs or temporary downturns. Think of it like planting seeds that grow steadily over long periods. Damn, each contribution may seem small, but over time, it becomes incredibly powerful. This approach is often called dollar cost averaging, and it reduces emotional decisions. Instead of guessing the perfect moment, you invest consistently and let time work. Now let's bring this concept into a real life relatable example. Imagine someone investing a fixed amount every month without fail for years. They ignore market noise and stay committed to their long-term financial plan. Another person waits for the perfect dip but keeps delaying their investments. Years pass and they remain stuck, missing growth opportunities repeatedly. Who do you think builds more wealth over the long run? The answer becomes obvious when you understand the power of consistent investing. Now, let's talk about choosing the right types of investments carefully. $1 million portfolio isn't built by gambling on random high-risk stocks. It's built through diversification, balancing growth, stability, and risk management effectively. This means spreading your investments across different sectors, industries, and asset classes. For example, combining technology stocks with healthcare, finance, and consumer sectors. This reduces risk because one sector's decline won't destroy your entire portfolio. Another key element is focusing on fundamentally strong companies with long-term potential. These are businesses with solid earnings, competitive advantages, and consistent growth histories. They may not always be exciting, but they are powerful wealth-building machines. Many successful investors focus on such companies and hold them patiently. Patience is what allows compounding to truly work its magic over time. Now here's where most beginners make a critical mistake in their journey. They try to chase quick profits instead of building sustainable long-term growth. This leads to frequent buying and selling, increasing risk and reducing returns. Instead, you should aim to build a portfolio you rarely need to change. Think of your investments as ownership in businesses, not just tradable assets. Would you sell a strong business just because its price fluctuates temporarily? Probably not. And that mindset is key to long-term investing success. Another powerful habit is reinvesting your dividends rather than spending them early. Dividends can accelerate your growth when consistently reinvested back into your portfolio. Over time, this creates a snowball effect that becomes incredibly difficult to stop. Now imagine combining consistent investing with reinvested dividends for many years. The results can be truly life-changing, far beyond what most people expect. But none of this works unless you stay disciplined through market volatility. There will be moments when fear spreads and markets drop unexpectedly. This is where your preparation and mindset will be tested the most. Instead of panicking, successful investors see these moments as opportunities to buy. They stay focused on long-term goals rather than short-term emotional reactions. This difference in behavior separates successful investors from those who struggle financially. You are now beginning to see how real wealth is actually built, but there's a deeper insight that will completely change your perspective next. Now here's the twist that changes everything about how you see investing forever. Most people believe picking the perfect stock is the key to massive wealth, but in reality, stock selection plays a much smaller role than expected. The real driver of long-term wealth is behavior, not brilliance or constant predictions. This is where most investors unknowingly sabotage their own financial success. They let emotions control decisions instead of following a clear, disciplined strategy. Fear makes them sell during downturns, locking in losses permanently. Greed pushes them to buy overpriced stocks during hype-driven market peaks. This cycle repeats, quietly destroying their potential to build lasting wealth. Now, imagine breaking free from this emotional loop entirely. Imagine making decisions based on logic, data, and long-term vision consistently. That's the mindset shift that separates average investors from exceptional wealth builders. But here's an even deeper insight that most people never truly understand. Your biggest enemy in investing is not the market, but your own reactions. Markets will rise and fall, but your response determines your final outcome. Let's explore a powerful real-life pattern that reveals this truth clearly. During market crashes, headlines spread fear, predicting economic collapse and uncertainty everywhere. Most investors panic and exit positions, trying to protect what they have left. But experienced investors do something completely different during these moments. They step in when prices drop, seeing opportunity where others see danger. This behavior allows them to buy quality assets at significantly lower prices. Over time, these decisions compound into extraordinary financial gains. So the question becomes, which investor do you want to be? The one who reacts emotionally or the one who acts strategically? This single choice shapes your financial future more than any stock pick. Now let's uncover another overlooked factor that transforms portfolio growth dramatically. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep invested. Many people increase income, but also increase expenses at the same pace. This leaves little room for consistent investing and long-term wealth accumulation. Wealth builders, however, control their lifestyle while increasing their investments steadily. They prioritize assets over liabilities, focusing on growth rather than short-term comfort. This discipline creates a powerful gap between earnings and spending over time. That gap becomes the fuel that drives the million-dollar portfolio forward. Now here comes a perspective shift that might challenge your current beliefs. You don't need to be right all the time to succeed in investing. Even the best investors are wrong more often than they admit publicly. What matters is managing risk and letting winning investments grow over time. This means cutting losses early and allowing strong investments to compound. But emotionally, this is one of the hardest habits to develop consistently. Most people do the opposite, holding losers and selling winners too quickly. This behavior limits growth and prevents portfolios from reaching their full potential. Now imagine reversing their habit and sticking to a disciplined strategy. The difference in results over 10 or 20 years becomes extraordinary. This is the hidden edge that quietly builds million-dollar portfolios behind the scenes. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it's incredibly effective. And once you understand this, your entire approach to investing transforms completely. You stop chasing trends and start building a system that actually works, a system designed to grow steadily regardless of market noise or distractions. This is where confidence begins to replace fear in your investing journey. You start thinking long-term, focusing on where you'll be years from now, and suddenly short-term volatility stops controlling your decisions entirely. But there's one final piece that brings everything together powerfully, a step that turns knowledge and mindset into real measurable results. Without it, even the best strategies remain just ideas without impact. Let's move into the final phase where your million-dollar journey becomes actionable. Now everything comes down to one critical question: will you actually take action? Because knowledge without execution is the fastest way to stay financially stuck forever. At this stage, you already understand mindset, strategy, and long-term investing principles, but turning this understanding into results requires a clear and consistent action plan. The first step is simple yet powerful. Start investing immediately with what you have. Waiting for the perfect moment only delays progress and reduces compounding potential. Even a small start today is more valuable than a perfect plan tomorrow. Next, automate your investments so consistency becomes effortless and emotionally detached. Automation removes hesitation and ensures you keep investing regardless of market conditions. This single habit can dramatically improve your long-term financial outcomes. Now, set a monthly investment target that aligns with your income and lifestyle. Treat this investment like a non-negotiable expense, just like rent or bills. This mindset shift transforms investing from optional to essential in your daily life. Over time, you'll naturally adjust your spending to support your investing goals. Now, let's talk about tracking your progress without becoming emotionally reactive. Checking your portfolio daily can lead to unnecessary stress and poor decisions. Instead, review your investments periodically with a long-term perspective in mind. Focus on overall growth trends rather than short-term fluctuations or market noise. This helps you stay calm and committed during unpredictable market conditions. Another powerful step is continuously educating yourself about investing in financial markets. The more you learn, the more confident and strategic your decisions become. But remember, learning should support action, not replace it entirely. Now let's address something that silently impacts your wealth building journey: fees. High fees can slowly eat away your returns without you even noticing. Choosing low-cost investment options helps you keep more of your profits. Over decades, this difference can add up to thousands, even hundreds of thousands. Now imagine building your portfolio while minimizing unnecessary costs consistently. This alone can accelerate your journey toward reaching that million-dollar milestone. Next, always maintain an emergency fund separate from your investment portfolio. This prevents you from selling investments during unexpected financial situations or crises. Having this safety net strengthens your ability to stay invested long-term. Now let's talk about staying disciplined during market highs and exciting bull runs. When markets rise rapidly, it's easy to feel overconfident and take unnecessary risks. But smart investors stay grounded and stick to their long-term strategy. They avoid chasing overpriced assets driven by hype and unrealistic expectations. Discipline during good times is just as important as discipline during downturns. Now picture yourself years from today, consistently following this exact process, investing regularly, staying calm, learning continuously, and avoiding emotional decisions. This is how ordinary individuals build extraordinary wealth over time quietly, not through luck, but through repeated smart actions taken consistently. Another key step is occasionally rebalancing your portfolio to maintain your desired allocation. This ensures your investments stay aligned with your goals and risk tolerance. It also helps you lock in gains and reinvest into underweighted opportunities. Now, let's address something many people struggle with: staying motivated long term. Progress may feel slow in the beginning and results may not seem exciting, but remember, compounding starts slowly and accelerates dramatically over time. The biggest growth often happens after years of consistent investing and patience. This is why quitting early is one of the most costly mistakes investors make. You must trust the process even when results are not immediately visible. Now think about the version of yourself who never gave up on investing. That version reaches financial freedom while others remain stuck in endless cycles. The difference is not talent, but persistence and disciplined execution over time. You now have everything you need to build $1 million portfolio successfully. The only remaining factor is your willingness to act and stay committed, and this final commitment leads directly into your ultimate transformation ahead. Now imagine yourself standing at the moment your portfolio finally hits 1 million, not by luck, not by chance, but through years of disciplined decisions. That moment isn't just financial, it's deeply emotional and life-changing. It represents patience, growth, and a version of you that refused to quit. But here's something even more powerful than reaching that milestone itself. It's the person you become while building that $1 million portfolio. Because wealth isn't just created in your account, it's built within you. You develop patience in a world obsessed with instant gratification and quick rewards. You learn discipline when distractions constantly try pulling you off track. You build confidence by trusting your strategy, even during uncertain market conditions. These qualities don't just change your finances, they transform your entire life. Now think about how differently you'll approach money, risk, and opportunities. You'll stop fearing market drops and start recognizing them as valuable opportunities. You'll stop chasing trends and start focusing on long-term value creation. You'll stop reacting emotionally and start acting strategically with clear intention. This transformation is what truly separates wealthy investors from everyone else. And the best part is, it's completely within your control to achieve. But let's bring this back to reality and what you must do next, because inspiration without action fades quickly and leaves no lasting impact. Right now, you have a choice that will shape your financial future. You can continue as you are, delaying, doubting, and waiting endlessly, or you can take control and begin building your $1 million portfolio today. And start small if you must, but start with clarity and commitment. Set your goals, define your strategy, and take the first step confidently. Remember, every successful investor once stood exactly where you are right now, unsure, curious, and wondering if they could really achieve something this big. The difference is they didn't wait for certainty before taking action. They moved forward despite uncertainty, trusting the process and staying consistent. And over time, those small actions turned into extraordinary financial results. Now it's your turn to write your own financial success story. A story where you didn't settle for average or accept limitations. A story where you built something meaningful, powerful, and truly life-changing. But this journey requires one final commitment from you today, a commitment to stay consistent even when motivation starts to fade, a commitment to trust your strategy even when others doubt your approach, a commitment to think long-term in a world chasing short-term gains constantly, because this mindset is what sustains your progress through every market cycle. Now picture your future self looking back at this exact moment. Will they thank you for starting or regret not taking action sooner? That answer depends entirely on the decision you make right now. Building $1 million portfolio is not a dream reserved for a few. It's a realistic outcome for those who stay disciplined and focused. You already have the knowledge, the strategy, and the roadmap in front of you. What you need now is courage to begin and consistency to continue, because success in investing is simple but never easy to maintain. It demands patience when progress feels slow and uncertain. It demands discipline when emotions try to take control of decisions, and it rewards those who stay committed through every challenge and opportunity. So take that first step today. No matter how small it seems, invest consistently, learn continuously, and stay focused on your long-term vision, because one day, sooner than you think, everything will start to compound. And when it does, your life will change in ways you never imagined. That $1 million milestone will no longer feel distant or impossible. It will feel earned, deserved, and entirely within your control. Now go out there and start building the future you truly deserve.